My name is Tyshawn Harris. Antonio Harris was my pops. He was definitely my dog, man. That's no offense to my mom or anything, but everybody knew, like, my dad, like, that was my dog. Like, everywhere he went, I would be with him. Everybody used to call me Tank just because we look exactly alike. I definitely got my nickname from him. Yeah, my dad was definitely like a huge hero to me, not only to me, but a lot of other people. I'm just very thankful that he was in my life for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Because, I have friends and people that I know that don't even know their father and things of that nature. So I definitely am very, very grateful. I have so many great memories, so many things I could share, so many things, you know what I'm saying, that rather it's involving basketball or life or, anything. He was just that guy that I could go to and talk to about anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with basketball though, like, he grew up on MJ and Kobe. Like, that was his favorite players, and I remember we used to argue so much about who was better between LeBron and Jordan and things like that. Like, it's crazy because, like, you always have your parents that say, oh, I'm not one of your little friends, you can't, you know what I'm saying? But growing up, like, he was definitely strict on me until I hit 18 or whatever, and then he started to ease up, and he kind of did become like not really a friend, but a guy that I could just talk to about anything, like I said, in life. And like I said, I'm very, very thankful for that. With him, like, I could ask him anything, whether it was money, advice, anything, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so thankful for that. Like I said, growing up, man, he had me working out 5 a.m., morning runs, just morning stretches, morning basketball drills, like everything, you know what I'm saying? And now that I think back on it, I'm very, very thankful that he instilled that in me, because it was more so of getting me ready for life and getting me ready for moments like this, you know what I'm saying? And I used to get mad. I remember us arguing about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just looking at it as he was just being hard on me. He was just, just being a hard dad, but it was more than that. He seen the bigger picture and everything. He always seen the bigger picture and everything. It's been moments where he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And, for someone to have that in their corner is just amazing, And, like, even with these chains, like, I remember growing up, like, these are his, you know what I'm saying? I've always wanted to wear his chains and his necklaces and things like that. And I remember he was just so stingy with it. He wouldn't let me wear them. And then a week before he passed, he handed me this necklace right here. He was cleaning out his closet. I remember it like it was yesterday. And he called me in and he was just like, hey, whenever you do have a son, you know what I'm saying, make sure you give this to him. And I want you to continue this, you know what I'm saying, so it could be a family tradition and things like that. And I just remember staring at him like, what you mean? Like, I'll do it, but I didn't understand why. So, like, I feel like deep down he knew his time was coming, but, like, he didn't want to, like, share with us or anything of that nature. He was a very private man at times. But yeah, I do miss you though, Pops, man. I miss you a lot. Continue to rest easy.
Antonio LAMAR Harris was born on June 17, 1976, to Shirley Ann Harris and Eugene Smith. Tony's mom was a young mother, but he was born into a strong family and was nurtured by two loving grandparents, as well as his Uncle Ben and Tyrone and aunties Sheila and Anna. Tony spent most of his childhood in Detroit and moved to Lansing with his auntie Sheila in 1989. Known as easygoing and good-natured by most people who knew him, Tony had a way with children. He was fun and reliable as a babysitter for his baby cousins, Rebecca and Rachel, and he only got better when he became a father. Although he grew up without a dad in his life, Tony had the amazing ability to be a loving and present part of his bonus and biological children. Tony married Stephanie Davis in 2001, and 3 children, Angel, Tyshawn, and Amaya, are part of their union. Tony was also a loving dad to 2 bonus children, Tisha and Devontae, and later became a grandfather to 2 grandsons and a granddaughter. Gone from our daily presence, but not our hearts, Tony will long be remembered as an avid sports enthusiast, competitive gamer, thoughtful artist, and writer, as well as a skilled cook. He loved his family, especially his children, and we all love him.
My name is Rebecca. I am Tony was my oldest cousin. And we are cousins by my mom. They were twins. And so I feel like we kind of had a closer connection. My mom was always looking out for him just because she even raised him for a long amount of time. And he actually stayed with my mom when I was living with my mom for a while, so we were able to see each other on a daily basis. I had my daughter first, and he was able to interact with her all the time, and they just loved each other so much. And then my son came, and he got to spend a lot of time with Malachi, and it was really hard when we found out that Tony had passed away. As soon as we found out, I dropped everything and ran to my car to go find his kids, because I know his kids are his life and vice versa. And so I really do miss him, and it's really it's really hard just understanding that he's gone. It's been a really hard time for me to be like, oh wow, he's gone. Because during Christmas, I remember he would always be in the corner. There would be in this, at my cousin's house, always he would be in the corner making what he called crack cakes every single Christmas. And just knowing that he's not going to be there to do that anymore, it's a hard thing. But until we see you again, cousin, I love you.
Man, we out here, y'all, at the first apartment me and my pops got. And this is my pops' way back and forth from work, my way back and forth from work, you feel me? So yeah.
Every time I see a cat or bus, I be thinking of him all the time, though. They be expecting him to walk off and shit.
Walked over there.
I was just stuck right here.
We're here at 829 East Shiawassee, apartment 14. That's the one me and my pops stayed in. 2019 was a rough year for me and my pops. We struggled to get somewhere to stay. So when we first got approved for this apartment, things started to turn around for us. We was happy. It don't look the prettiest, but it was our shit. So we were finally at peace.
Yes, COVID was definitely a blessing in disguise. Because without COVID, I would have been in school. I would have never had to experience the last 2-3 months with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is a traumatic event for me, even coming back here and speaking on this today, I'm still thankful for having that moment with him, his last moments, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so basically my pops called me, man, and I remember just watching my phone ring, but I was out living fast at the time. I was like, I'm gonna call him back, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call him back in 5 minutes. It still eat me up to today, because I wonder what he would have said, what he could have said. 10-15 minutes later, angels start blowing up my phone, telling me I need to hurry up and drive home. Yeah, I'm running red lights, running stop signs, going 90 in a 35 speed limit, speeding here. I got here, there was a whole bunch of ambulance trucks just all around here, parked over here in front.
Same with Tyshawn. I seen the phone go off, you know. I was like, yeah, I'll get back to him. He don't really want nothing. Then he called me again, and I'm just like,
He never called twice.
that's the thing about my dad. He gonna call you once. He might send you a text, leave a voicemail, tell him to get back with you. He don't call twice. He called me the second time. I remember hearing his voice, and he was just out of breath. And he was just like, I'm having another episode. I need to call 911. And in that moment, my life froze, literally. So I hurry up and hung up the phone. And I knew that he didn't have enough oxygen, you know, to say words.
Yeah.
So I hung up the phone and I immediately called the police. I called 911. And I let them know exactly his location because they couldn't even make out what he was saying. That's how much like oxygen he literally had left. I got here as soon as I could. As soon as you pull up, all you see is red lights flashing everywhere. First thing I see, Tyshawn grabbing shit. Blood everywhere. Blood is everywhere.
When I walked in, everybody was asking who I was. He was just, that's my son. That's the last words he ever spoke to me. It's just crazy to think back, like I'm still here, you know, we here doing this now.
A year later.
It's only a year later and, you know, it still feels like it's brand new.
Fresh.
Like,
it was frightening. I didn't know what we was gonna walk into. I knew it was regarding my dad because, like I said, I talked to him, but I didn't know what to expect.
also when I didn't know nothing, like
Tashawn walked into this completely blind.
Blind, open the door, just seeing blood. Like it was so much blood, and him just coughing and gasping
uncontrollably. Like, it was super frustrating to me. I understand first responders have to ask questions and figure out the situation, but it was just like so frustrating because I'm like, my dad is on his last breath right now. Like, he barely can speak right now. And y'all asking him, does he have shortness of breath and does he have any symptoms of COVID? And I'm like, even so, you see he on his last breath, like, get him to where he needs to be. This is his last moments. Like, all of us together was shared here.
Right here, literally right here.
Like I said, stuff like this happened before. My dad's been in and out of the hospital a lot of times. So I just knew I was going to see my dad. I knew he was coming back. But at the same time, I knew this was my dad's last moments here. And I didn't want to be dramatic and be like, I love you. Or like just
I couldn't say
because I'm like, I had this feeling. That's why when I see him come down the staircase, they're pushing him.
It's one of those little mat things that you had to kind of slide down when the person can't walk type stuff.
Yeah.
They ended up putting him on a stretcher down here.
Like, imagine seeing your parent laid out on a fucking stretcher, getting pushed to the fucking ambulance. I couldn't take that shit. So I'm walking all the way over here. My back is turned. I couldn't even visualize that shit. Later on to find out, I'm gonna see that image of him again, just in a suit and tie.
Hi, my name is Rachel Taylor, and I am Tony's youngest cousin. I always go back to this picture of, I think it was for my second birthday, and that whole party, I was like attached to his hip apparently, and every picture from that day, I was either like he was holding me or I was sitting on his lap. And as I was reflecting on him, just thinking back to that picture, that's kind of like how even 20 plus years later, that's how it was. Every time I saw him, I would run and jump on him, or at family functions, I'm sitting on his lap, because he was always that, though he was my cousin, he was just always like an older brother, or even just a positive male influence. Since I grew up without my dad, I always had him and my other cousin BJ to look forward to for positive male influence in my life. And you know, Tony just had such a kind, sweet, gentle spirit, and he was just always so laid back, and you rarely saw him going off, but when he went off, you knew something was wrong. But it was just rare that he did that, and he was just always so kind of like chill, and it just made it easy to be around him and to talk to him, just because of his gentle, calm spirit. Realizing that kind of won't happen is, I mean, it's kind of hard. I know he's in a better place now, and I know he did suffer through a lot, and he was never one to even really talk much about and complain about what he was suffering through. But I know he is in a better place where he is no longer suffering, but I mean, this is gonna be hard. I mean, he would always tag us in those encouraging or funny videos on Facebook. He was just always trying to either make us smile or uplift us, and I will truly miss that. I know he's gone, but not forgotten. We'll always love you, Tony.
My name is Anna Pryor, and I'm the aunt of Antonio Harris. His mother was my oldest sister, and so I've known Tony all his life. He was the sweetest child, and he always had a very good nature about him, and he always had this ability to love kids and draw kids. Kids loved him because of that. When he was little, he could dance. We would embarrass him a lot because, you know, we used to party a lot back in the day, and, you know, everybody, come on, Tony, dance, you know. He loved basketball. You know, he was a good kid, and, you know, he didn't have it easy growing up, but, you know, Tony always took everything in stride. You know, he reminded me of kind of like a quiet giant, you know. He was a great father, and, you know, he loved his kids, and, you know, he was loved by all of us, and we sorely miss him. I have peace because I believe I know where he's at. I go out to the river often, and where him and his mother's remains are, and we just, you know, I just remember them, sometimes with tears, sometimes with laughter. We love and miss you, Tony, and we will see you again someday.
Ben's crib?
I think so. Ain't this Uncle Ben's? Yeah.
Tony, he lives in this crib right here. Him, Uncle Rory,
That's crazy, man.
Auntie Shirley, she ain't play that.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony got caught stealing candy.
They had to tore y'all up, huh? Ooh.
Yeah. I was just saying that this used to be all clear, and we used to play tag and, you know, baseball, all of that in the yard. We used to have a garage back there. We used to walk to school every day down there, you know. And they say we used to walk in 10 degrees, and then Tony, yeah, you lived in that house right there. So, you know, I mean, that's how close, you know what I'm saying? It was, we was always together over there.
Yeah. I still want a car, but I'm grateful for it, so, you know, I like cars.
Cars was gonna be church right there for Sunday school, and then we would go to our big church. You know, when after Daddy got dressed and Mama got dressed, yeah, we moved here in 1963.
Yeah.
And that used to be Tyrone's room right there. That was the living room.
The house being filled with life and stuff like that.
Oh, it was so full of life. This whole block, I mean, was just beautiful when we was growing up. We would have parties every Friday night with the neighbors, and now it's like dead.
Hello, my name is Edward, aka BJ. I am Tony's first cousin by blood, but that was my big brother by life. You know, we were two peas in a pod. You would really ever say Tony without saying BJ, or BJ without saying Tony. That's kind of how we grew up. He was such a dynamic person. There's not one particular story that would tell you who he is. Our dynamic, he and I was always the one talking trash, getting into trouble. I was the one that was always gonna fight first. Tony was always the person there to be level-headed or to, you know, kind of help reel me in. But really, I think really the biggest thing I really want to talk about, and you'll hear this over and over again throughout all of this, is his humility as a person, the way he carried himself. The only thing I think he really had true pride about was his children. He just swam in pride when it came to his children. He carried himself in such a humble way. Like, there were times as children where I would get mad at Tony and I'd try to fight him, but at any moment Tony could have pulverized me. There'd be times I would punch him in his face he would never ever hit me back. He's never actually hit me in our entire lives, as much as I tried to get him to do that. And to me, that just shows that he was a very peaceful person. He was a very calm person. He wasn't violent at all. And I think, you know, more than anything, his pride wasn't such that he had to react or respond to people that disrespected him. He carried himself in a way that, you know, he had the most important things in his life always at the forefront of his perspective. So as his brother and as his cousin, I will always miss him. I'll always love him. And, you know, we're going to hold it down until we see you again, Tony. Love you.
What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy, No Dogs. And I have to be honest, I'm not going to give you no feel-good event or anything in particular like that. What I'm going to say is that his presence is greatly missed, along with other great men in this community that I've been able to latch elbows with. His presence as a brother in Christ at that particular moment, in spirit and truth, and his presence as a father. My love and my commitment go to his children, because I know how committed he was to his children. One love to the Harris family, and rest in power, brother. Peace.
So yeah, we used to come down here and shoot them up, get some hoops on right here. You can still see the makeshift backboard up there on the pole. Yeah, this how I used to give your daddy bucket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right. Oh man, that's crazy, man. And there used to be a house right here, Kenneth and Lacey, with some brothers that lived in this house right here. So he used to be always out here balling. But all the neighborhood kids used to come down here, and there was always some mischievous activity along with some hooping going on, you know. But it was safe, you know what I mean? It was, you know, it was the hood. You know, it was, I mean, at least half or more than half of the houses are glowing out. You know, like that's how.
Hello, I'm Sheila Moore. I'm Antonio's aunt. His mother, Shirley, is my twin sister. When I found out that Shirley was pregnant with Tony, and you know, we were only 19 years old, and she really considered giving him up for adoption. And so I wrote her this long letter pleading with her not to do that. And I was like, you know how our family is, you know how we do. We gonna have you. So you please keep him, because we'll do this together. You know, he was always this really quiet kid. And there's this expression that says, still waters run deep. And I feel like that expression applies to him, because he didn't always say a lot, but there was a lot on the inside of him. And I'm talking about creativity. You know, he really had an artistic side that we would see little pieces of it in the way he wrote, and then in the way he drew. He could draw. So, you know, he has been my baby boy from day one. And I think if he didn't know anything else, he knew that. He knew that if it was nobody else who he could talk to about stuff, he knew he could call me. And it happened a lot. So, yes, I miss my nephew dearly. And it felt like the loss of one of my own. But I really have the hope that through Angel, Tyshawn, and Amaya, and Devontae and Tisha, that it's gonna continue on. I know he planted some seeds with them that will continue on.
Yeah, that's on that. You diving. It's a wood. Me and Tony were here. He was a grade ahead of me, and one Christmas, Auntie Sheila bought us the Converse, right? She bought me the Birds. She bought Tony the Magics, right? The Magics was like purple and yellow cons. Yeah. The Birds was black and white. I remember we came in right with the sneaks on. Mm-hmm. We got to about right here. Kids rushing us. They're like, oh, you got the Magics on, oh, you got all the Birds, you know what I mean? Well, we was obviously poor, but Aunt Sheila always and Uncle Ben always made sure they laced us with the flyest sneaks, you know. So and these monuments was here when I was a kid, so they still there. And it looks like they still open. It kind of look secure, right? Like a little bit more secure than when I went here. But this is Yeah, 1st through 5th. Yeah, Tony.
All right, my name is Catherine Davis, and I'm Antonio's mother-in-law, and I know him for 20-some years. And one thing I know about him, he loved to play basketball. He loved all his kids, and we used to go. One time he took me to a wrestling match, and he knew I loved wrestling, and we were sitting almost on the front row, and I always watched it on TV. Had never seen it before, close up like that, and it's kind of frightened me. So he said, "What do you think about it, mother-in-law?" I said, "Oh, it was good, it was good." But after that time, I didn't want to go back no more to watch the wrestling in person. From then on, I want to watch it on TV. And I used to love the way he used to cook us Easter dinner every time Easter came. He would cook them big old turkeys and all that good old food. He said, "It's Mother's Day," and he would be sitting up in the kitchen. He'd be just cooking up a storm. But one thing I can tell you about him, he didn't want nobody in that kitchen while he was cooking, because he was cooking that food, and that food was so good. And I was so proud of him for cooking all that food, because I never loved to cook. My daughter and him was married for 20-some years, and I look around now, and I think about him. He bought me a brand new black Bible before he left, and I always look at that Bible. I keep it in my bedroom by my bed, and I always read Bible verses out of it, and I love him, and he truly gonna be missed. And I thank him for all those years that he spent with us.
What's up? I'm here talking with my friend, my big brother, mentor, the big fella is what I call him. And, it's very rare when you meet people that are always them. You know what I mean? Like, typically you see people who one way this way, and these people, they like this. But when you really, truly meet somebody that is, like, truly genuine and just truly, who they are, it really means something to you, because it's like, dang, that person really loves me, for who I am. I remember one time, I was just having a really hard time. I was working really hard, and sometimes your efforts didn't always seen, as an entrepreneur. And I remember he came up and gave me one of them strong, new grown man handshake where it's like it's hurting your hand. You like, dang, dog. And he just hugged me and he just whispered in my ear that, this your year. This is your year. And if I could see him today, I would just tell him that I love you, man. Thank you for all the encouragement, all the kind words, the Facebook messages. All of them I appreciated, and I appreciate you for just appreciating me before the world got a chance to find out. It really means a lot when you got people that support you and are fans in the early stages of your career. And you're right, big fella. This is my year. Love you. Rest in power.
My name is Cortisha Shannon, and I'm Tony's oldest daughter. I'm his stepdaughter, but oldest child by far. Favorite child. Just kidding. Tony was a very calm person growing up. If I heard him raise his voice, then I knew it was a problem. I met Tony at the age of 2. He's been there ever since. And I was the first to make him a grandfather, which he named my first son. I named his first son. All the kids love him and they call him Big Pawpaw. He is greatly missed. My oldest son can't stop talking about him to this day. So if I had the chance to say goodbye, I would say that you're greatly appreciated. I miss you, and I wish you could come help me out with some of these kids. Love you, Big Daddy.
Tony and Mika, after Mika was born, they moved out over here into this 2-family flat right here. Yep, so Auntie Shirley and Uncle Romy, after Mika was born, they moved from over there to over here. Yeah, okay. So then they lived over here. Tony and them had a hoop in the back, so we would hoop in the back of this house. And they lived in an upstairs unit so we could come out on the balcony and stuff like that. But it was just crazy hood, you know what I mean? Crazy hood. Out here, me and Tony, we used to hoop with snow on the ground. We used to literally shovel snow out of the way just to hoop. Gloves on, hats, just get buckets up in December. But I mean, it wasn't a whole lot to do besides that, so.
Antonio Harris was the coach, life coach. He was the motivator, he was the inspiration. He was a vessel to prepare me for life, to prepare me for the man I was meant to be. I just remember talking to him a lot, having real deep conversations, talking about life, talking about family, He was a real family man. And I used to always just like watch him, like watch how he carried himself. He know that he was my stepdad, but he was willing to do anything my dad didn't do. And that really touched me. I feel like he showed me a lot. He showed me his mistakes. He showed me what not to do. He showed me how to carry myself. And I feel like his legacy will live on. I'm out.
You guys got a potty? No. You got a potty anyway? No. The Detroit classic landmark. Burn many an elbow and knee coming down that thing. That's what it's called, giant slide. Yeah. Big. I don't really like when it jumps though.
Oh yeah. It looks scary. Yeah,
Oh yeah, look at them dips in there.
Heck no. Y'all put down this?
Man,
On a rug, but they give you like a rug made of like a potato sack. If you come off the rug, you get burned. Like you get knee burn, elbow burn, you know.
That thing look high.
Yeah, it was epic.
I was about to say.
Like this was the highlight of it all. Like we didn't go to Cedar Point. I think we used to go to Babylon, maybe went to Babylon once, but this was the ultimate fun if you was a kid in Detroit. It was, you know, pretty much all that it was to do.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Harris, nicknamed Stephon Harris. I met Antonio Harris in 1996, and I am his wife. We used to dance at this place called Bingo Hall at Kroger's, and that's where we met. And we just started hanging out like every day. He ended up moving in, and we ended up getting married and having a lot of kids later. He was such an awesome coach. And I really love that. He coached our son, our baby son, Tyshawn Harris, for years. Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, are you guys crazy? Y'all really going to play basketball? There's so many things that I could say and keep on saying, but I wake up to you, I think about you, I go to sleep, and I think about you. And the day this happened, I didn't break down because God was holding me. And now I feel that He's not, but I miss you every day. You just was awesome. You went grocery shopping with me, laundromat. It's not a lot of men who would have did things that you done. Like I said, we spent a lot of years together. The last few was kind of rough, but we tried. I think we did the best we could with what we had and what we've been taught. I know our kids loved us. I know you loved them. And you know a lot of gifts the kids have, especially Maya with drawing and Angel with rapping. You know, all these little gifts. And I just want to sing one thing to you. Ever had a love that you could call on when you were in trouble? Ever had a love that comes to you on the double? There's no need to look no further. I'm waiting for you. Just call my name. I wish I could call your name. And I'll come running. I've been wanting to say that to you all the time. If I could just call your name and you can come running. And you know I never sing in front of nobody, but I'll sing for you. I miss you. I still love you. I will always love you. You will always be in my heart. Rest in peace.
Life with Antonio Harris, bro, my cuz. It's still surreal to me, you know. I could say so much. We had so much fun together. One thing's for certain, I know that man loved family. He was all about family. He loved his kids. He loved family. He was a family man. You know, living back on Chelsea Street. I remember Uncle Ben coming to town and we trying to hustle him out of out of his ride. He had that little red Chevette with the bang in it, and we got that mud rolling through the city, burning out all his gas. But you know, I love him, man. I miss him dearly. We had a lot of good memories together that I'll never forget. Never forget, man. Rest up, Tom.
Talking about my Chalky to people is admitting to myself that he's no longer physically here with me. And I've got so used to feeling his presence around me that I speak to him in the mornings. I say my prayers and I feel like he's right there. And I just always feel like I still have him here with me. So, hey, best friend. I missed you. And yes, I'm being a crybaby. I could feel you telling me that. I remember the first day we met, the first time we said anything to each other. The nerve of you coming into my life and sucking me in with all your greatness. 'Cause you're such a great person. A great father, a great friend, a great prayer warrior, a great life. You could be suffering and you would suffer in silence if it meant that you gave somebody else happiness. There aren't words for how beautiful you were. And I was so blessed to have you. In the physical and in the spiritual, because I know you watch over me. And I love you so much. And I'm so thankful for the time that I got with you. A lot of us still go back to those inboxes and read our morning breakfast. It still feeds me. You still feed me. I love you, Chalky Boo.
So this is our grandparents' house. This is a grandparents' second house. One time we went out to a club and we came back to this house and was knocking on the door. Wasn't no answer. You know what I mean? So we broke in, bro. So we broke in, right? And in the morning time, Mama Jessie come out. She like, you could hear asking Granddaddy, how did he get in the house? I'm like, I don't feel safe around here no more. I never did tell them we broke in either. Shit, I mean, this is, y'all know this one. Y'all can speak to this one.
My pops took us here every Christmas. I remember like racing Rebecca down this street.
Yeah, I
remember that. She killed me, I ain't gonna lie.
She had wheels back then.
Yeah, she had wheels back then. I remember Uncle Ben used to come with the big old sacks, presents every Christmas, man. I used to look forward to coming here, man.
Great memories are made here.
Definitely great memories.
Oh yeah, we had the jacuzzi in there. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we could go up there, but it's somebody's house.
I know. We're gonna look out here like,
and they got ADT. They got ADT.
Man, it's crazy. It still looks standing.
Yeah, it does.
Hi, my name's Amaya, and Antonio is my dad. I love you and I miss you.
My name is Angel Harris, and I am Antonio Harris's daughter. Originally, when I had this idea of making a documentary, I thought it would be a way for people to get a feel for who my dad was, and also a way for me and my family to kind of sort of vent in a way. But unfortunately, I found it very difficult for me to put 22 years of my life in a 5-minute clip. So I ask that you guys bear with me. Growing up, my dad was a very active father in my life. for me and all my siblings actually. He was like at every school event we had, every sports event. He used to take me on daddy-daughter dates a lot, and he actually got to know me as his daughter individually. Anyone who knew my dad knew that he was a very mellow, super chill type of dude. He was literally a teddy bear. Like, I used to refer to him as a jelly bean, real hard on the outside, soft on the inside. But once you took him there, you know you fucked up. You know you done fucked up, because my dad do not get out of character. And throughout all the BS I put my dad through, as far as being a rebellious teenager, he never snapped on me. Like, he literally kept his cool and he was patient with me. Moving on to my adult years, I spent a lot of time doing my own thing, you know, being young and, you know, doing me. And I really regret that, because little did I know, the beginning of my adulthood, it was the last couple years that I had with my dad. You would never think something like this would happen to your family. I guess the joke is on me. May 1st, 2020 was the worst day of my life. That day just really fucked me up. It's crazy how everything happened, but you know, everybody has their time. Unfortunately, my dad's time was too soon, in my opinion, because I never got the chance. I never got closure, never got the chance to say goodbye. At least I got to see him before he did pass. Everything happened like so fast. Like, I haven't fully processed it yet. So when the news broke out, a bunch of people reached out to me, as well as a bunch of fake love too. I'm not going to speak too much on that, but I do want to address that, because a lot of people reached out to me and not necessarily reached out to me on a personal note, or my brother. When they seen us in public and they're in front of people, they're like, oh yeah, you know, get with me, you know, I'm gonna look out for you, I know what bro will want. And basically they was just saying that just for show, just for talks. And when it really came down to it, when we really needed the help, or we just needed someone to talk to, a shoulder to cry on, they weren't there. So that's why I say keep that fake love over there, because we don't need it. And to all the people that was actually reaching out of love, for real, like genuinely love, I appreciate y'all, and definitely thank you guys for being there for us when y'all could. But grieving is different for everybody, of course, but it was a very dark place for us, and it was a very uncomfortable situation, you know, to speak about. My dad was just so well known, so many people knew him, and it was just like, it was a headache just going to Walmart, because I bump into so many people, and they're like, your dad, and like, people don't understand, like, I could be having a good day that day, and not even be thinking about that, but the moment I run into people, I'm like avoiding people. I'm avoiding going out in public, because I don't want to talk about it, you know? Over the year, since this has been a year since this has happened, my new normal life is, you know, taking care of my siblings. That's what I feel like I need to do. I check on Maya here and there, Tashawn, you know, making sure everybody all right, make sure everybody good. Tisha and Vontae, they do their own thing, but I definitely call and check up on them as well. It's really hard adjusting your life to somebody that you're used to seeing at least every other day, or, you know, just the roles he played in other people's lives. A lot of people known him as Big T, Tone, Tank. If I had the chance to talk to him again, I would just try to take in all the knowledge that he had. You know, my dad was a very wise man. You know, he used to tell me all this life stuff, and, you know, as a kid, I didn't want to hear it, but now that I'm older and like now that he's gone, I just wish I really cherished the moments that I had with him. So this is my message to my pops. Thank you for all the time that you invested in us. You held it down. You was the backbone of our family. Living life without you has been really, really hard, really, really difficult. But I know that you're in a better place now. You're with Nana and the rest of our family. When you lose a parent, the one that you most depend on, that shit hurts. And I can imagine you going so long without your moms. It's just like that pain. I wouldn't wish that pain on nobody. And I don't know how you got through it. This is my first year without you, and I can't imagine the rest of my life without you. But I'm just gonna keep going, taking it one day at a time. That's like the only thing that keeps me at peace, is just knowing that you're not hurting anymore. So for my people watching, cherish your loved ones, man. Just hold your people tight, because you never know when's your last time you seeing somebody, man. So I love you. Your legacy is gonna continue on. Yeah, man, just keep watching over us. I know you're here around. I feel your presence. I know you're near. Until we meet again. ATA.
Damn, that's crazy. You just went home
Hey! You say you want something, baby? I hate it. You like it, baby. You guys say
Hold it tight. Right here. See my head like this? Hold it like that. Hold it tight. Don't let it go.
hold it tight. Everybody hold it tight. You don't let go until you let go. Alright, so boom. Go.